Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sly4 Optimal Loot Tournament Round 2. Today, featuring ShadowZ896 versus Slinq17, fellow Americans. My name is Nave357. I am your host today, co-commentating with my partner in crime and mortal enemy, Ostrava. How are you doing, Ostrava?
I'm doing good, Nave. Just a little sad that I'm not going to see you next round, but I'm happy to be here tonight.
I'm happy to be here too. I'm happy to be here with you. And of course, our runners, Shadows. How are you feeling?
Wait. I have a weird feeling. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Previously, Remo Christian was defeated, disgraced, and delivered to the SlyGolds mods team. But it was a hollow victory. I failed to get the EP1, 2, and loots in the same time. Or in a reasonable time frame, I should say. Fuck! And I still had no idea who was going to win this entire tournament. But one thing's for sure, it was someone who was popular enough to have their own private Twitch channel. So we contacted Nave for an update to the bracket, and it looked like Slinq17 needed to play us next. That meant we had to travel back to the second round. Luckily, one of the goons that took Remo's luck dropped what appeared to be an old ruby ring, and it turned out it was the perfect object to get us there. And on that note, how you doing, Slink?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Excited about this.
That was great. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Well, with that said, are you two ready? If so, I can provide us a countdown. We will start on go, and then I'll be moving you over into the runner's voice channel. So are you ready?
Ready,
I'm
Freddy?
ready, and I think my timer is actually fixed this time.
Oh, wait, I gotta get my
Excellent.
splits. Crud. Wait, I
Oh,
forgot to pull up my splits. I'm sorry.
we need splits.
Professional streamers here, everyone.
We need to
Professional
know.
streamers.
We need to know. Is it a PB? We need to know. That's the sort of
Puzzles.
information that you can get from a program as lovely as LiveSplit. SlyGolds not sponsored by LiveSplit. In any case,
Now I'm good.
we will be starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Best of luck, Slink. Enjoy yourself, man.
Best of luck.
Good luck,
And the
runners.
are off.
All right, there we go.
Okay. Yep. But we'll see how this goes. It turns out we'll definitely. Episode 1 really normally sets the pace for these wonderful runs.
You can say that again. Flashbacks to my last race.
Yeah. Honestly, with your and Kluke's match, I was testing out job strats today, and it's just like he got extremely lucky against you. Because the only thing that I see the benefit of like going to jobs is you get to guards quicker, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think the especially episode 2, I always forget the name of that job. Grand Key Larceny. I think those strats, you know, they're a lot better than they seem. It's pretty smart.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you get 20 small guards that, at least from what I've seen, they spawn pretty often with loot.
Spawn with optimal loot, spawn with unoptimal loot, spawn with all kinds of loot. You just have to be careful not to accidentally kill all 20 and move on to the Wild Man round, but that doesn't really seem too hard.
No, just restart checkpoint once you hit around 18.
And speaking of restart checkpoint, we see Shadows employing the RC strats here. Both players choosing to be Sly. You might be convinced otherwise based on the different appearances, but Shadows is just using the ultimate costume, which personally, I'm not a fan of Sly's ultimate costume. What do you think?
I'm not personally. The only ultimate costume that I do like is Murray's.
I think Murray's is good. Carmelita's is pretty good. And it also looks like Slink is pretty good.
Oh, but very nice. I already got the ivory chopsticks. We're moving on to the next world for Slink. One thing I'm seeing is Shadows, it seems like he does a set route then restarts checkpoint, and I think you do your restart checkpoints based off of time, and I think I've adopted that as well, personally.
Yeah, basically. I think Shadows was sort of infatuated with how Powerman did his RC strats, and it's a bit more route-based compared to mine, like you mentioned. I usually do it after maybe somewhere between 3 to 5 minutes if I'm not finding something. Or if I'm really just in a complete dead zone, either not finding guards or finding guards with nothing in their pockets, then I'll try it out. But honestly, I do have a bit of a loose route, but I kind of just go with the flow wherever I'm running to in this category.
For me, is I have to keep myself, especially for the matches, I keep myself around the 3.5 minute to 4 minute mark before I RC.
Heyo!
And there's Shadows with the comeback. Now we're both back in episode 2. My most hated episode, but for others,
Me
that silver belt
too.
buckle is a bit easier to get.
Oh, you mean for this category? I thought you just meant in general. I hate this episode.
And also today, I was thinking about having fun in the semifinals. I pulled out Tennessee, started running around. Tennessee is not viable for this category whatsoever.
He's so slow and bad and slow
E-
and bad.
Even with the quick kill strats with what is it called, the exact name, but
Crack
with
shot.
his crack shot. The thing is the crack shot's useful, but if you're in like a long distance way and you slightly miss aim, you're going to shoot a guard that you didn't even see whether or not they had loot. So there's also that annoyance as well.
But under 4 minutes and both runners are here in episode 2. It's a pretty solid start for both of them. Honestly, like Slinq getting the ivory chopsticks first hardly matters anymore. Luckily, they are both using the Cole's wrench modification to Sly's cane, which you get for collecting all 60 masks throughout the game.
Yeah, definitely useful for this category. One thing I've also realized is while silent obliteration is extremely useful in some occasions, the animation for silent obliteration is longer than Sly's normal takedown combo. Silent takedown combo.
Yeah, I thought so too. I never actually officially timed it or anything, but you can just
It just
tell.
feels so much longer.
For sure. I think that's why some runners either intentionally opted or maybe forgot. They just don't have the silent obliteration gadget at all.
If only there's a way to turn off gadgets, but I don't think there is.
You know, that actually would be really nice to have like a toggle button in the thief net, because some gadgets, you know, I mean, they're handy, I guess. But honestly, Sly 4 gadgets, there's just so many that there's bound to be some really bad ones that actually become more of a nuisance more than anything. And yeah, being able to toggle them off would be really nice.
And that's why I think even during matches, I prefer to just kill the big guards with I just do the 7-8 swings it takes to kill them before, instead of doing silent obliteration. Small guards, the 3 hits is just way faster than anything else.
Speaking of small guards, Shadow's running into lots of them, but none of them are rich enough to actually have loot. Seems like Toothpick doesn't like to pay his men.
Hey man, Toothpick, you've seen him during the game. He cares about his gold, and it's only his gold.
That's true.
I don't think he pays anybody well.
I will say, for as much as I hate episode 2 in this game, Toothpick saves it just a little bit. He is definitely the best part. I think his fight is not particularly interesting or anything, but like, his character is just really funny to me. I think it's hilarious.
I don't even think in this game there's decent boss fights, but I don't think there's any good boss fights in my opinion.
Good boss fights. I mean, the El Jefe one is kind of okay.
I do like the El Jefe one.
I think it's kind of interesting casually, honestly. Even speedrunning, it can keep people on their toes because you're trying to go for those cycles, especially in the final one. You want to get that like frame perfect one cycle. It might not be frame perfect, but it's pretty close.
It is very tight. I think I've only gotten it once or twice in my short time of speedrunning this game. But I'm just a fledgling runner right now.
For now.
When it comes to the Sly 4.
I like that I've been seeing you sort of bounce between this game and Sly 2. Whenever one you get fed up with one, you can just switch to the other. I think that's a pretty healthy way to, you know, maintain variety and interest in the games that you speedrun.
Like, I also know Sly 1 as well. It's just I just don't have that drive with Sly 1 like I do with
Sly 1.
The more stealth action platformers that like Sly 2 introduced.
They lie. We are at 6 minutes for Slinq. Less than a minute left until he can optionally skip and be... Oh.
And their Shadow's out of episode 2.
Let me hold my tongue for a moment. I was about to say it might be worthwhile that he does, but Shadow's putting a little bit of pressure on him there.
But honestly, if Slinq did skip, this is a pretty fair episode to skip. Unlike me, who was insane during my match of having to skip episodes both 3 and 4 and still somehow came out with the win.
Yeah, spoiler alert, you had probably the craziest comeback that we've seen, not only in this tournament, but maybe even the last one. My memory's not the best on the last one, but that one was just so ridiculous that I wouldn't doubt it. Potentially final loot for...
Oh, and Slinq gets it.
Wow! The final
Perfect.
loot! It paid off!
Perfect. No 2-minute penalty for him today. And Shadow's going with Bentley and going with the, I'm guessing, the sleep bomb strats.
Yeah, ShadowZ would do a better job at explaining his philosophy on this than I can, but I do remember him talking something about Bentley being a good choice for episode 3, just because of the layout. It's I don't know. I guess just the way that the map is designed, it really enhances Bentley's abilities to move around the map, quickly sleep bomb people and kill them, and just go from guard to guard super fast. At least in his opinion.
I think what Shadow says is this map's not extremely vertical, so it's pretty flat. So being able to move with a adrenaline burst between guards, even with that meter recharger, you can move pretty quickly through this episode with Bentley. But the thing is, here in episode 3, what I've noticed, there's a lot of ways to not manipulate, but at least this. If you position your camera angle light and you just get slightly out of a specific load zone, you can spawn the same guard over and over again if you do it right.
Yeah, Slide 4 does not have the same guard spawn manipulation mechanics as Slide 2 or 3, but it's especially, like, you can really tell in episode 3 in particular that there are some things you can do to influence it a bit. Because unlike those other Sly games, if you don't kill a guard in Slide 2 or 3, it will despawn if you get far enough away from it and you're not looking in that direction and everything. But in this game, the guards are persistent in the world. That's why killing them can be really important, because let's say you dig all the coins out of a guard's pocket, he doesn't have what you want, so you move on without killing him. 5 minutes later, you loop around the world, you come back to that same guard and he's still there. No coins in his pocket, the wrong loot still hanging out of his butt. Like, you pretty much have to kill them to help guarantee that those loot spawn rates will constantly refresh and you can constantly be on the lookout for the optimal one.
Yes. The thing, it's a much noticeable to like with the persistence to see if you pickpocket at a guard and leave a loot in their pocket and come back and see they're there. I don't know if that's how the game say. I think the game's maybe persistent in that factor of like, oh, this person has a loot. The player may want to pickpocket this, so it retains that data. I think possibly that guards you may not pickpocket may despawn on their own over some time. But that's really hard to test out.
Yeah,
but the persistence
maybe.
thing is...
Might take a while, or like getting really far or something, but it's possible. While there has been, or rather there was a lot of playtesting of this category for this game before the tournament started to make sure that it would be enjoyable to watch and play and everything. Well, let me hold that thought. Slinq continues to pop off here. Moving on to...
Good old 1-2. Spends about 3 minutes here in episode 3?
Something like that. I did not take note of when ShadowZ or Slinq entered, but it wasn't that long. Once again, putting the pressure on ShadowZ. fallen behind just a little bit, but we've seen that he knows how to catch up. And he's just getting unlucky with the loot. But yeah, moving on to episode 4 over on Slink's side. One of my favorite episodes. I really enjoy 1 and 4 the most, I think.
I really like episode 4 as well. I think overall I like episode 3 the most, even though I hate the boss fight. I like the aesthetic, and also I like the pacing of the episode itself. It was pretty good in my eyes.
That's really interesting. That's gotta be a rare opinion.
I hate the Grizz boss fight. It's horrible. It's the worst boss fight in the game.
That part is pretty normal, but just enjoying episode 3 at all. Yeah, that part's a little strange to me. I feel like I hear most people say that they don't like it, but you know, to each their own. At least somebody does.
But I'm definitely with you. Episode 2 is at the bottom of the bracket for me. Like, good aesthetic, nice design, but the pacing of the world is just bad.
It has good music, it has Toothpick, but other than that, it sucks. Everybody in chat, say it with me. Episode 2 sucks. Thank you. Thank you, Kelluke. I appreciate that. I'll take it, Kareem. That's close enough.
Episode 2 is bad.
Not as bad as EP3. That's valid. I will accept that answer.
Like, episode 3, probably casually, probably not good, but as a speedrun, it feels nice.
Yeah. It doesn't suck. Looks like we're gonna have to reconsider the mod team here.
And
I kid.
This is why I'll never get hired on SlyGolds, because of my crazy beliefs.
No, you're on my team at episode 2, so we'll just replace Beaver with you. It's all good. The one bad thing about Shadows choosing Bentley here, I would say, is it's a little bit harder to try to peek the loot out of people's pockets. So he kind of just has to blindly take it regardless of what it is in most cases, and you know, it's not a huge time loss or anything, but it is a time loss. And
yeah.
What is your philosophy on skipping loots whenever you see that it's, or if you can see it's the wrong one or not?
If it's the thing is I will take the extra second or two to verify what it is. Then I just normally kill the guard. I don't like. At least from my experience with this tournament, is have not had a run finish within 10 seconds, so we haven't had to worry about the tiebreaker strats. So I don't feel like those extra coins are really worth it. Unless if it takes me a long time to identify, I would probably take the loot just in case, but I don't purposely take wrong loots.
Right. Yeah, same for me. And speaking of not taking loots, Shadows did not take the episode 3 tribal penguin mask, so he did skip that. That doesn't mean he's out of the race though. There's still a chance if Slinq has a really bad EP4, a really bad EP5, Shadows is still in it to win it.
And as always, we cannot skip that wonderful EP5 loot. That ring is required.
Mm-hmm. That is the only required loot. If you played this, you could technically, after 7 minutes of in each episode, of course, skip episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, which would grant you a nice plus 8-minute time loss by the end. But you could do that. As long as you collect the ruby ring at the end, though, then your run is technically valid, at least by the tournament rules.
Yes. If this were a leaderboard speedrun, we might have to do some different deciding on a rule set. Yeah,
for sure. People have wanted optimal loot categories to be on speedrun.com since last year's tournament. And, you know, it's a fun and interesting idea. I could see it happening, but there would be a lot of required changes to the rule set, and it would be a little bit harder to sort of define and moderate that. But, you know, I'm not a leaderboard mod, not my problem, Omega lol.
This is why Nave we decided to apply for SlyGolds. A lot easier job. You just host the events. You don't
Yeah.
you don't moderate them.
Nah, I don't moderate anything, Kappa. But we do see Shadows finally moving over inside the castle walls. I thought it was really interesting how long he stayed outside. I do like one pass in the village outside, and then I spend all the rest of my time on the inside, because there's just... It feels like the routing and the guard population density is a lot better inside the castle.
Definitely so. And just like here, around that clock tower, if you like play your camera angles right and you move in a specific way, those guards around that clock tower spawn pretty quickly, especially if you take them out.
I don't know about you, but I think every time I've played episode 4 in this category, I think if I did get the optimal loot, it was always from a small guard. I don't remember any case where I got it from a wolf.
I almost always get it, but the thing is the large guard density is normally from the rooftops, and that's just the easiest thing to do inside the castle. I think it's more of like confirmation bias at that point. I don't see big guards, so they don't give me the optimal loot.
That's true.
Because even on the palisades here, the actual top of the castle walls, it's very rare for a flashlight guard to spawn on them even too. So at least the quick majority here in episode 4 is you're just gonna be pickpocketing a lot. Ooh, and there's Shadows with the Emerald Dragon Eye.
Oh,
both at the same time.
Same time.
We're going to episode 5 with a very, very tight race.
Very tight, but Shadows does have a skip, meaning he is technically 2 minutes behind at this moment.
If Shadows can get that loot, that 2-minute 10-second timer starts counting down.
Oh, and we're going in episode 5 with different characters. We have Bentley on the left, Sly on the right. This could be interesting.
This is a bit interesting. Like I definitely would give some weight to Shadow's decision of choosing Bentley for episode 3, but here in episode 5, yeah, the world's pretty small, but a decent amount of the guards are on rooftops or at least elevated areas where the benefits of adrenaline burst is not as useful.
You said the map is pretty small. Is that true? I thought episode 5 had the largest map in the game.
Sorry, not small. I mean by flat.
Oh, flat.
Oh, and there's Shadows with the ring! The 2 minute starts!
The 2 minutes, I think it was from about 21:26 on the timer. Yeah, so 23:36.
And there's the ring, Slick ends it! It's over!
Way. What a photo finish!
Oh man,
that
Shadow's
is
taken
time.
Out. Both of them the near first guard here in episode 5.
I can't believe, like, Shadows got episode 4, and 3 seconds later, Slinq got episode 4. Shadows got episode 5, and 3 seconds later, Slinq got episode 5. And it all came down to that tribal penguin mask. If Shadows didn't have to skip that, this probably would have been the first tiebreaker match in the tournament.
Yes. I think that this is the first instance where a tiebreaker was very much possible.
Man, that was razor close. But I'm going to ask the runners if they're ready to come back in. And man, I can't wait to talk to them about this. I can't wait to also see how everybody's brackets hold up after this, because I know this one, a lot of people's points were really contingent on this match. So we're going to be dragging them in now.
Hey, my bracket's dead now.
Welcome back, runners. What a photo finish. It couldn't have been any closer, I don't think. Shadows, I want to start with you, because if it hadn't come down to skipping that tribal penguin mask, I think this would have been our first tiebreaker match of the tournament. So tell me your thoughts on how you feel right now.
I'm not mad at all. That was just such an amazing match. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of it. But yeah, I was just talking to Slinq about it. Like EP3, especially with that loop you get as Bentley, that's usually one of my faster episodes. And I just thought, okay, I'm here for 7 minutes. Let me reset to these first two guards because there's normally two at the start. So I figured I'll give this one more shot, then skip. And then when that didn't happen, I just thought, okay, we got to move. And then down the line, when we both got AP4's loot, but then I got the ring like instantly, I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to get crazy. And then he got the ring and just like, oh man. But like I said, amazing match. I'm happy to be a part of a great match and not just be on the commentary side. I'm happy for Slinq, and I'm happy he's getting at least $25. So GG's. It was great fun. Love being here.
Yeah, and thank you so much for being here and participating. That episode 4 and 5 is just back to back. Slinq, how are you feeling right now? Moving on to round 3 next.
The heart's pumping pretty good. It was crazy in the runner's voice call. He announced that he got the eye. I got it like a second after he did. And same thing with the ring. It was very, very close. So that was what I wanted. I wanted a close match out of this one. So I'm glad that it came up to that.
It really couldn't have been any closer. Ostrava, do you have any questions or anything you want to say to them?
No questions at all. Pretty nice, fair match. Pretty close. I enjoyed watching it here from the commentary booth.
Yeah,
I'm glad you guys both enjoyed it.
I enjoyed watching the match. I enjoyed talking with Ostrava. I enjoyed teasing the chat. That's what I do. But does anybody have any final words that we want to say before we are going to send this off?
Somebody else.
Dave. Thank you, chat. Appreciate all of you for what you do. Wouldn't be here without you.
Somebody else please carry the torch of quoting the script before their matches, because otherwise I'm going to be very sad. But otherwise, GG Slinq. Good luck in the next few rounds. I'm excited to see it, and I'll hopefully be around for more exciting matches, man. But thanks for having me. It's great being a part of it.
For sure. Well, thank you everybody who was watching in the chat. Thank you runners and commentators. This is match number 2 of round 2. So we have 2 more matches before we have all of our semi-finalists.
No, there's one more.
One more
Just
match
one more?
after this.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
Ostrava.
correction.
Ostrava, Slinq, Kaluk, and then the winner of Frizz and Power Man to play Slinq.
Yes, that is right. So
Then we'll be
I
going
am
to the semifinal.
So I am going to be looking forward to seeing how those brackets shape up once we get our semifinals contenders. Until then, thanks again everybody so much. Hope you all have a great evening. Bye bye.